Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for education, analysis, and opportunities in blockchain and crypto. My name is Lucas.
And my name is Ryan.
And we have a very exciting video to share with you guys today. As you know, one of our favorite protocols and projects in blockchain and crypto is the Secret Network, because they are one of the few, if not really the only, innovative privacy chain in the space, allowing for smart contracts to be built with privacy as a default layer. Very innovative, very unique. They've been around the space for years. We don't feel enough people are talking or covering about them. So we're going to make it a point to really stay abreast of their latest developments. If you like to know what's going on, crypto and blockchain, and especially the Secret Network, make sure you hit the subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. We appreciate the love and support. That being said, there's a lot of exciting stuff, because this has been a great year for Secret and the IBC, but shucks, was it the Vega upgrade? Was it the name of the upgrade? I lose my mind at the moment, but the upgrade where they connected to the IBC, that happened this year.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I know they did connect recently, so we're correct on that.
I might be thinking of a different Vega.
It's been some upgrades, so bear with us on the name. But yeah, they're very new to the IBC. They've been around for a while and part of the ICO era. So
started out as Enigma, and they were ERC20 tokens that they switched to Secret, and you bridged them over from the ERC20 days from the ICO to their own official chain, which again, back then they were ahead of they were really showing that we're around for the long haul. They, like you said,
one of the few that took that startup period, took that money and actually did something with it, right? Instead of just making off with the bag, they built it and reinvested and built a cool product. So here we are. We're looking at the results, their own chain, and it's been integrated with the IBC, the Cosmos Tendermint ecosystem. And you see the map of zones showing all the different chains that you can swap in and out of natively through this ecosystem. And Secret is, our view, one of the premier, right? And on Secret, there's been a lot of development, lots of cool NFTs. There's all kinds of cool stuff. And what we're going to highlight today is a project called Jackal DAO. This is a file storage, cybersecurity, digital forensics project. So we're going to unpack some of that and get into it. This is their light paper. And before we go through that, we'll show you their Twitter page, and you can see there's a Discord link, and you can see follow Jackal and see, stay abreast on the latest. There's no website just yet that's being produced, but we do have a light paper, and we have a Discord.
Let's check out that light paper. And like you mentioned before the video, people hear DAOs, and DAOs were being created with blockchain and crypto before the DAO reserve currency movement. You had decentralized autonomous organizations. Not all DAOs are ohm forks. So a lot of people who are getting into crypto, they hear DAO, they think, oh, a DAO, that must be
their ohm fork,
an ohm fork. But the reality is no, those ohm forks are a certain class, a type of DAO that they all share as a fork similarities. But there are other decentralized autonomous organizations that use blockchain and crypto that aren't reserve currencies. And Jackal is one of those DAOs that are looking to add value to the space, not competing or operating in that time reserve currency mem ohm fork protocol market space.
Right. So not a rebase token.
Not a rebase token.
But it is going to be a decentralized autonomous organization, and they're going to be focusing at Jackal on services relating to file storage and cybersecurity and digital forensics, including transparency and evidence, right? So there's all kinds of cool things happening here. So let's go through the light paper a little bit, and we're not going to read this, word for word, but we want to focus on a couple of the high points just to introduce this concept in this project. And so run the first, under purpose. Okay, so you want anything jumping out at you? Okay, I think we should talk about where it says here, Jackal is a managed DAO, which aims to attract a community of researchers, journalists, cybersecurity analysts, digital forensic specialists, forensic accountants, lawyers, investigators, and investors.
Let's stop there. Unpack it. Let's unpack.
Okay, let's unpack all that.
So in the world of blockchain and crypto, we have decentralized finance. We have private. We have information storage, right? Messaging and private data. Well, this is the world this is where we need people from the traditional markets to come in and help bridge, I suppose, create that bridge from the blockchain into these traditional institutions. That's why you need the forensic accountants, the lawyers, and the forensic specialists.
Well, I guess the way to say it is these roles have value in the real brick and mortar world, clearly, right? And as we remake, that world online, we're going to need to port those same functions and roles over into the blockchain, right?
So if we're going to create a real estate agency blockchain application, we may need to hire a bunch of real estate attorneys and real estate agents and people who have experience in real estate before. And that's the idea, is that if we're going to build a private, decentralized data storage, digital forensics, then we need to have people that work in these fields, how we can use this technology to make it more transparent and more robust, more secure, more efficient.
Indeed.
That's cool.
All right. So we at the very beginning, we want to highlight that privacy and data security are at the forefront of this project, right? This is what sets this project apart from competitors like Saya or Filecoin is that layer of privacy. And that's going to be explained in this paper as we click on. So let's get into that.
You can meet the team. You can look them up. It's very transparent. They've got we'll link the podcast. We're going to leave all these links below. This is just educational information, entertainment. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research to be your own bank, as always. That being said, like you were mentioning, Ryan, we look at these projects that's hilarious. Time for a dog walk. We look at these projects that are serving a purpose, that have a utility, that aren't just a copy fork of a cash grab, but people that are actually building something of utility that's going to be of value in the market. When you see like that last page, they're pulling all these accountants and lawyers and investors, people from these markets to build something of value. That shows that this is serious, that this is going to be around for a little bit. You look at where's the competition. When you look at investing in crypto or blockchain, how saturated is the market? How many other people are doing the same thing? That's what's exciting about Secret Network. Whether you go to Stash App, when we talk about their NFTs, what's being built there, or Jackal DAO, their version of this, what they see wrong with SIA and Filecoin, this ability to bring privacy to data storage, which is that's a big
it's huge.
Elephant. That's a big pink elephant in the room, to say we've got this great storage thing that's going to be really decentralized and secure and work great, but
you have to trust us with your keys.
Right. So there you go. Let's
so I mean, that's one good big part of what this is. This is about privacy and file storage, but there's another element too that I think we can highlight. And I'm on the Meet Jackal page of the light paper if you're curious. But there's a section here that kind of gets into the other side of it, dealing with evidence, transparency and evidence, and capturing and managing digital evidence, and all these factors that go with that. So let me read from this so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. The Jackal team believes Jackal Storage will provide social benefits of transparency regarding the current state of file storage, cybersecurity, digital privacy, and evidence tampering and disinformation. Additionally, in any legal proceeding, whether civil or criminal, the secure and transparent capture and management of evidence is an essential element for parties and decision makers to resolve issues in a proceeding. I mean, that really needs to be unpacked, because I mean, if you're familiar with justice problems in the criminal justice system, one of the old stories you hear is the DA either purposefully or neglectfully excluded or forgot to highlight some key piece of evidence that could have there's a word there, but I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but could have cleared the
exonerated
exonerated the client or the defendant and resolved this whole issue. But for either through negligence or through whatever, the evidence was lost or tampered with, or just never even brought to the proceedings at all, right? It just kind of fell off into the abyss. So transparency in evidence collection and management is an issue in today, right now in 2021 in the United States, and in all jurisdictions, I imagine, right? So we're seeing this concept, this technology of this Jackal DAO technology, if they're successful and this actually works, this could increase the utility or the effectiveness of our
Efficacy.
justice system.
Totally. I was thinking the same thing. That's a great point. I was going to go somewhere with that, but I'll just stick with that's a great point.
Right. So what else do we want to talk about? Right. Okay.
Now that's what I was going to say.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Jump on it.
What you were saying when we talk about banking and finance and how blockchain and Bitcoin can help revolutionize financial industries, because we remove those third parties. Anywhere there's an intermediary, a third party, you have human risk. There's that
points of failure.
There are those points of failure. There's the bias factor. And like you were mentioning with prosecutors or juries that are compromised, or judges, or, it's not always the case, but it happens frequently in different jurisdictions all around. It's just
human things fail in human ways, right?
And when they do fail, they always fail the same way. They look for the tampering, they look for, but if we can remove that human element, if we can remove that place where the information can be controlled by a small group, if it can't be controlled by a small group, like the money printing can't be controlled by a small group.
So we're talking about moral hazard.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Removing the moral hazard in institutions. It's talked about a lot in economics and markets, that there's this
with monetary policy and other, but it applies just as much to in other fields, in other realms, right?
Thank you. Yep.
Okay.
Everyone needs a Ryan, by the way.
Yeah. If you're just a little on your little man on your desktop, just finishing your sentences for you.
Cleaning them up, editing them, making them sound a lot nicer. And I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I said right there.
It's funny. Well, let's talk about let's go a little deeper, see what else they have to say here on this light paper. So we're talking about cloud storage and how the solutions are often centralized. They mention Filecoin and SIA, and they mention another Storage, which they say is their most direct competitor. But one of the problems with Storage is that there's a email address and password required to store and access the files, which, there's the problem with cybersecurity and decentralization automatically, creeps back up into the conversation. So the idea here is to recreate those kind of services, but doing it in a way that's truly decentralized and encrypted and private.
And that's what separates them, is using removing that point of failure, which would be the email address, the centralized server where you can have the identity. Now let's just make it purely that point of contact via a private key on the blockchain and remove that security flaw, so to speak. But that's what's cool about blockchain. That's why we say this is a great time to do your own research and get involved. We're at the beginning. Jackal is just building this out. They're bringing in people from the markets to help them create something of value. And that's what's being built all over.
And honestly, this is the sort of innovation that has both of us more interested in, more what's the word? Has our interest peaked, right? I mean, it's cool to see like blockchain bonds and CDs and interest in DeFi. That's great. And NFTs are really interesting because they open the door to some of these new ideas with like identity and records management and other things, right? But really what we're seeing here with Jackal is kind of like, this is what we've been waiting for. Let's not just stop at money. There are other functions that we can decentralize and add value. So not to get off onto a tangent, but just to say that this is very, very cool stuff.
No, you're right. This is kind of what we got into teaching and got excited about blockchain and crypto in the first place. We're in it for the tech, people.
Yeah. And the transformation.
The transformation, the opportunities, absolutely. We're all in it to enjoy the value gain, the rides that come with it. But absolutely what drew us in, and many people, is recognizing that this technology is legitimate and actually has the potential to liberate, to remove moral hazard, and to improve human institutions. If you're familiar with data storage or money making and how that whole process works, then you recognize how this new tech can make the world a better place. And when you're aware of that, then you want to research and find those projects that are going to be there to do it. Because if you're helping build those projects, then you have the potential of enjoying that network effect, that caps all that value gain.
If you believe it's going to help improve things, you want to kind of help make that a reality, right?
Totally. And we're early on. So it's good to do your research, diversify. There are many different people working on many different things, and find those communities and those projects that you wish to support and watch them build something beautiful. But like I said, privacy, these other areas of the economy that blockchain can impact have always been things that we are very passionate about learning more and sharing more beyond
Indeed.
just the money replacement. And this is just a natural fit. Great. So we'll continue to show absolutely the development of Jackal DAO on the secret network. This is cool. And they've got activities, Jackal DAO. They got case studies and investigations with Jackal DAO community of diverse professionals and hobbyists. And of course, you read this, if you feel like there's a place, a niche, you can add value. That's what's cool about blockchain and crypto. Reach out to the people at Jackal DAO. And if you have a background in human trafficking, I mean, I hope not, unless you're there.
Well, maybe fighting it.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you're like, I've lived a hard life and I've come around. That's cool too. I respect that.
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, I mean, that's a thing too. Yeah.
That's a thing. But
the cybercrime investigations, that's cool. Cause it's been a lot of talk in the last few months about MetaMask hacking and cybercrime in general. So to see Jackal DAO, having a role or having a service they're going to offer to, help kind of fight that battle. That's cool. That's cool. That's very cool, because I know that stolen crypto is a huge problem. And I believe they go deeper into that. There actually are going to be providing services for people who have their crypto stolen, and at least an attempt to recover.
I see that they're having Jackal governance token, and they'll be offering rewards for published content. So there's a mechanism to incentivize people for adding value to the network and putting content out there in the beginning. That's cool. And you find that a lot in crypto. If you have a way to add value to the chain, to the community, then whether it's through a hackathon or something else, you can earn crypto that way. You don't have to buy it,
adding
and exchange
value.
it. You can add value right from your.
They're even going to have a training opportunities for people on all kinds of. They'll have training classes on various different skills. So that's very cool.
We might have to go send someone in and partake in this and see what goes on, so we can have someone on the inside explain what's going on with the Jackal DAO training.
Yes. Well, you don't want to keep the secrets to yourself, right? You got to spread the love. That's
what we're doing. We're trying to share the love. Right? So professional services, Jackal DAO plans to offer professionals, like you were mentioning earlier, through Pylon protocol payments. I did read about that, Pylon protocol payments. So again, Lunaterra, UST, IBC, UST enabled payments. That's huge. That's amazing. So again, we've got decentralized privacy data storage. We have decentralized private payments in respect, of course,
with a decentralized stablecoin on Terra.
Now the decentralized privacy stablecoin, that's different. If you want to know more about that, check out our video on Shade and Silk being built on Secret Network, because that will blow your socks off. That will definitely open your eye, because when you see how valuable stablecoins have been to DeFi and the service that privacy brings to,
and then think about how vulnerable they are, or many of them are, and to the various kinds of risks that we talk about with centralization.
Absolutely. So that's why we look for opportunities. Opportunities come through education and analysis. That's where you often find the opportunities in crypto. This feels and appears to be, it's obviously early on. They don't even have a website yet. And we will do more updates as they develop. That being said, the team behind Jackal DAO and the secret network community are not fly by night. They've been around and are here to take the time to build something with a strong foundation from the ground up that's going to be around to provide a service and a value for time to come. So definitely put this on your radar. Jackal DAO aims to provide scholarships for Jackal contributors as well, and members to pursue certifications in cybersecurity, forensics, and other IT certifications. Just great in the world of education. We're all about education.
Oh yeah.
Jackal DAO providing contributor benefits.
They're big about partnerships too. I don't want to cut you off.
No, dude.
Yeah, they have a whole partnerships project. They're looking to, I can't remember the name of the company, but there's another that they're working with. It'll come to me in a minute when I get into the white paper. So
I know that in their podcast they were openly working with File. We'll leave the link. They just did a podcast recently, and I know that Filecoin, they were working with their devs to help understand the decentralized file storage blockchain systems and how they're able to bring the privacy element. So that's, to me, I love hearing things like that. It's a very small world once you get into blockchain and crypto, and you find these people that are actually in there with the programming languages, building these protocols and working with each other. Collaboration, communication is key for success, right?
There's a nice chart showing the distribution of tokens and how they'll be issued, right? I don't know if you've found that yet, but it's in the.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I clicked to it.
This triple airdrop, that's great. This is going to be for the holders of, or people who are staking Atom, Luna, and Secret. There'll be an airdrop for each. And
they may have already done the snapshot, or maybe they haven't.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we need to look at that.
I will say
founders, the founders get 30%, but that's, when you read about it, it's locked up. There's a 3-year vesting schedule for those, and the advisors will also have a 3-year vesting schedule. So that's interesting. And the private investors will also have a 3-year vesting schedule. So that does introduce an element of tokenomics into it. So you don't get dumped on by those early investors and founders.
Sure. That's important. Tokenomics are important, and also the team behind it. And you read their economics, their governance, and what they plan to use for the Jackal token. It's to prevent, like you said, to prevent those dumps and those pulls, and to continue it's to add that demand for the token and the deflationary pressures for mining incentives, for staking it, governance, DAO rewards. So it just goes to show, when you see things like this, that the team is serious and is looking for the long-term success and viability of the project. And the triple airdrop, that's huge, brother. I mean, how many projects? Again, we're going to continue to talk about this. If you're looking for passive ways and a fun way to jump into crypto 2022 and beyond, stake Secret, stake Luna, and stake Atom.
I mean, Comdex, Shade,
Juno,
Osmosis,
Chihuahua. Wawa token is the first. We'll have to do a video. The first meme coin that has its own blockchain, and it has exploded. It's actually the airdrop. The people who got it earned thousands of dollars.
That's fantastic.
Drop, and that's just for being a staker on another network. And that's what we talk about. A lot of these triple airdrops, because the IBC is a family of blockchains that are working to help each other out in this world of crypto, you often find that they will cross reward stakers of different communities.
And Atom, Luna, and Secret are a very popular trilogy, right? On that powerhouse.
We talked about them for the Shade airdrop as well.
Yep. That's
and
right.
Shade has a limited of only 10 million tokens and is very deflationary. So, when you get an airdrop into something like that, that's like getting a Yearn finance error. You don't need a lot of tokens to benefit from something with those kind of tokenomics. Okay, I feel that we did a pretty good cover of the Jackal light paper. We'll leave the link.
There's a roadmap if you want to look at the end of the light paper. It's nothing too concrete as far as dates go, but it just kind of shows you what they're looking to, like, what they're going to be doing in the near future. What the path looks like forward. Yeah, this is good. Distribution of revenue. You see kind of how the revenue is distributed across the network, who's going to be getting what. And all in all, well thought out. Yeah, here's your roadmap.
Very well thought out, very well put together for a light paper. It's very well put together.
Yeah.
Very detailed and complete.
There's no spelling mistakes.
Hey,
that's a huge thing. You want to look at that.
Grammatical errors and things like that. You're like, just come on. Did anyone edit this? Is it,
right?
Are you taking this seriously? This is beautiful. I love it. Definitely linking this below. In conclusion, we feel that Jackal is going to be one of the major protocols in blockchain and crypto for a time to come, and that they're working on building some serious value added technology for the world, to make the world a better place. That's right. For the tech, this is a very beautiful and cool use of blockchain, privacy, secret coin, this tech. It's nice to see. This is kind of like when you and I first got into crypto, we were talking about this kind of stuff, the potential that could be done. brainstorming how institutions could change. What would people be able to do? And Jackal are a group of people that have taken those ideas. I'm sure that many people were inspired by and said, okay, well, let's start building it and doing it.
Let's make it happen.
So very cool. Very,
I'm excited.
Cool. And make sure you read this disclaimer.
Oh yeah, because that's what we read.
Exactly. And we'll leave the Jack. Okay, so we did bring up the Twitter. It's good to follow them to stay abreast of their latest, and follow their Discord as well. Always Twitter and Discord seem to me, in my experience, I'm ready to drop Facebook and Instagram and all this other stuff, because really beyond the crypto sites and the research, it's Twitter and Discord is where you're able to get involved and talk directly to the communities and the people that are building.
And get the quickest, newest, latest news.
To get what they call the alpha.
The alpha, yeah.
And you mentioned this earlier. I'm just scrolling through the Twitter just to show some use cases, but in the real world, we talked about the human error. There's human error in data storage and centralized systems, and whether it's Experian, Equifax that was announced a long time ago. Here we have Canadian ship Zero Trust. You often find that you mentioned this before the video, health care, medical documents are one of the primary use cases for something like this.
Yeah.
And
indeed. And here's an example of why there's a need for it, right? You got an entire country as being spied on by their government, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's problematic. We need to close the doors that make that sort of thing possible.
It'd be like having an article of the Fed prints trillions of dollars and doubles the money supply in a few months, next to Bitcoin or X crypto has a standard inflation rate at only X% every year. And you're looking at
problem,
the two difference.
Solution.
Okay, exactly. Problem over here when people are in charge of just deciding how much of a solution over here, where we took the decision out of it. Just either mine or hop on board and get to work.
Right.
So, okay. I dig it. I thought there was one more tweet that I scrolled down and found. Maybe it was actually the podcast. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, show that, because that's something for people if they want to know more about this project, they can check out this podcast. Yeah, we'll give a link to that too.
Here's a podcast: Jackal DAO interview, private decentralized file storage, and crypto chem. These, I definitely recommend, if you do have Twitter, follow these cats, or I should say these jackals. And they are constantly pumping out some alpha and some latest and greatest, and hilarious, just funny too. Just
very good,
funny space. I guess that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. We did that.
All right. Well, if you like this kind of information, you know where to go to learn more about. We do have more about Secret Network and their NFTs and other stuff being built, as well as many other things going on in the world of blockchain and crypto. Take a look. It's in a book. It's a reading rainbow, but it's also on our channel and videos too. We don't have books out yet. That was just all right. Until the next time, have a beautiful day and namaste, y'all.
Thank you.